You're listening to Turi Writers' She Said What podcast. I'm Turi, along with Marcy Persky. In this installment, Marcy tries to convince me of something she saw on video. I refuse to believe it. There's just one problem. I happen to be wrong.
We're both in black.
That's all I wear.
Can you see my t-shirt?
Oh, Ronald Reagan on your t-shirt.
But look what it says underneath.
I smell hippies.
He's making it like a stink face.
He doesn't like it.
I got it from the thrift store where I volunteer.
I was going to ask if you had decided to go through those bins of t-shirts you've been talking about sifting through.
Actually, I did that, and I've already folded up all the ones I'm keeping. Then I'll go through them again, and I'll pull more out that I'm going to keep. And then I'll wait another month, and I'll pull more out that I'm going to keep. And they'll just all go back into the box.
That's
how I roll.
Sort of a problem with this. I put everything in a bag in the closet, and then I think about it, and I take stuff in and put stuff out, like the Hokey Pokey. It's the old clothes Hokey Pokey. And then I eventually throw it in the back seat of the car, and then I force myself to drive past the brown elephant box and throw it in there and drive away fast. In fact, if I were going to get a speeding ticket, it would probably be peeling out of the lot of the drop-off box, because I know that if I even think about it for one more second, I'll turn the car around and I'll try and find some kind of fishing hook to go into that big metal box and get it out again.
See, that's my problem. The closest big metal box is an hour away. That gives me a whole lot of time to go over and over and over again what I'm actually going to put in there.
Yeah.
And then usually by the time I get there, I go get food instead.
The answer is nothing. I'm not putting anything in there. Not a darn thing.
Yeah, I'm a bad
Purger.
American.
Bad purger.
Yeah. Yeah. So while I was waiting for you,
yeah,
I was just like whipping through weirdo things.
Mm-hmm.
And I found where you can buy, made in China, of course, a nose hair comb. So you can comb your nose hair. I want to know if anybody, any of our, I think we're up to 5 listeners now, would buy a nose hair comb.
What does it look like? A little garden rake? Or what does it look like?
It's a little teeny tiny comb. It's like tiny. But it's like this is according to the picture, okay? Because 9 out of 10 times you don't get what's pictured. They'll send you a full-size comb.
Yeah.
But it costs like $1.
Well, here.
And it's on a long stem, and this is little tiny. I can't even talk about it anymore. It's so weird.
All right. So I have a couple of thoughts about this. Number one is, imagine working in the factory in China where you make these things day and night.
Now you're making me sad.
Imagine that's your job. I mean, other people, we raise our kids. You want to do something useful. You want to fulfill a function in society. You want to improve the planet, clean the water, save an animal. Imagine the poor soul whose job it is to manufacture the nose hair comb.
I'm imagining the poor soul that needs one.
Well,
like there's such thing as like little scissors and stuff, so you can just cut them.
Well, there are the nose hair trimmers. That's how you know that you're getting older, when somebody thoughtfully gives you one of those for Christmas. That's men. Men get those. Women are assumed to have perfect nose hair all the time.
Maybe because they comb them.
The second thing is that I would consider a nose hair comb Exhibit A if you were filing for divorce. Like,
okay.
I'll give you an example. I was dating a famous guy one time, and we were in a fancy restaurant in New York, and he, at the table of this fancy restaurant, pulls out dental floss and begins to floss his teeth. And I was aghast. We'd only been dating a short time, and let me tell you, we did not date much after that. And I looked at him and I said, What are you doing? He said, I'm flossing my teeth. I said, this is a restaurant. And he said, well, it's just a healthy thing to do. I said, so is taking a, and you don't do that in the middle of a restaurant. So I think that a person who uses a nose hair comb definitely grounds for divorce.
Have you ever tried to tweeze one?
Hurts like hell.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It really hurts.
I don't even know
I don't
why. Why did
recommend
I
it.
have to do that? I'm trying to remember.
I tried to do it, I think, when I was like 12 or 13, just to see.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, it's not like
It's,
I have a lot of nose hair. I have many other things that require depilatory care, but not my nose.
have you seen the news story about in Michigan? There were some guys sitting around in the backyard, and a raccoon came and was choking. And he went and patted the raccoon on the back until it coughed up a chunk of cheese.
I don't believe any of that. You saw a video where some guy gave the Heimlich maneuver to a raccoon in the daytime and it coughed up a piece of cheese.
No, what he did was okay, this is somewhere near Detroit, okay? And these guys were sitting around drinking beers, and they a raccoon came in their yard, and the raccoon went in their garbage and came out with a piece of cheese and started choking the cheese, choking on the cheese. I can't even say it. He was choking on cheese. And this guy said, this is totally 100% true. The guy said that the raccoon threw his back legs up in the air, which he said was the universal sign for choking.
What?
So he ran out to the you do with a
What is
baby.
he, a doctor?
No, he's just some beer dude.
Yeah, and what the universal sign for choking is you throw your legs up in the air? What kind of
He said initially it was acting skittish and it arched its back up. And then it got more at ease and realized that they were trying to help it. And so it
I'm
started,
sorry. If you think
they
I'll
were
believe
patting it on the
that,
back and he spit out the
if you
cheese.
think I'll believe that, and
It's on video.
of course it
You
is.
can find it on video.
Of course, it's on video. It must be true on the internet.
Just look for Michigan friends choking raccoon.
I don't want. I don't.
Raccoons are like so scarce up here that they have them in zoos.
That's right. We saw them in Arizona when I visited, but they were trained.
Yes, this one was choking. I don't know.
If you think, I mean,
Now he's a raccoon hero.
I don't believe it. And besides, raccoons are really, really, really violently dangerous creatures in the wild. We had a conga line of them going along our back
Yeah.
fence in San Francisco, and I went out there and they growled at me. And all of them,
They will eat your chickens.
they will eat you.
Yeah, but they're cute.
They're very
Kinda.
fierce. Fierce is what they are. And
Well,
is
this
puzzled.
guy is a raccoon hero now.
I don't usually discuss the mechanics of how we do this podcast, but something's going on there on your mountain with your reception.
I think I know what's going on. You'll have to read about this. This is true. There was a huge haboob in New Mexico, which is like a sandstorm that you can see like coming towards you that goes all the way up to the sky. And
Okay.
they're called haboobs, and they have them like in the desert and down in Phoenix. And we're all hazy out here. And the National Weather Service says that it's remnants of the dust from the New Mexico haboob, which could be interfering with our signal from the top of Bill Williams Mountain.
You just like to say haboob, don't you?
It's great. I never knew that word until I moved to Arizona.
It is a pretty good word.
Yeah.
So we've dispatched the raccoon problem.
Yes, we have dispatched raccoons.
We've dispatched the raccoon and the piece of cheese. By the way, how do they know that's what came out of its little gullet, a piece of cheese? Did they check?
They saw the raccoon take the cheese out of their garbage can.
Well, who sorts their garbage
Which
so that
who
they
keeps
know?
their garbage open?
Yeah, well, and who knows what's like if somebody just sticks a paw into my garbage can, I'm not going to know what they're getting out of there. I mean, it's a week's worth of
Well,
garbage.
raccoons have little hands,
Right. If
and
somebody
they could see
sticks,
that it had cheese in its hand.
was this day or night? You saw the video. You should be able to tell me, was it day or
This
night?
was day.
Yeah,
They were
raccoon.
day drinking
This
some
is
beers.
why this is horse wash, because raccoons are nocturnal anyway.
Look at the video.
I'm
Watch the
Full
video.
of crap.
Watch the video. Watch the video. Watch the video.
So you're
It's
telling
everywhere. All you have to do is Google or ask Jeeves for raccoon choking,
Well,
and the video will come
all
up.
I have to do to see a StarCraft land is Google Steven Spielberg or George Lucas, but that doesn't mean it actually happened. All I have to do to see an alien on my computer is Google ET, but that doesn't mean
Yeah,
it's
it has
real.
happened.
I don't know.
It actually happened in Michigan, not in some made-up name of a town in Western India,
I see.
which is
So
what you would do if you worked for like the Weekly World News.
So if I wanted, because you've worked for the Weekly World News, so you're telling me that
No,
if
I wrote for the Star. Wrote for the Star.
You're-
Come on, that's more legitimate.
Is it- okay, I guess it just depends which supermarket you shop in. So what you're telling me is that if I want someone to believe a story that's just completely flim-flam, horse wash, poppycock, I just have to put in the name of a town in Michigan that's real. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah, no, this is a real town.
You do
It's
understand.
a real town.
You do understand that when I made up my whole resume, I did it by figuring out which towns had radio
I know you
stations
did.
that were so small that no one would
But
believe.
you didn't have video.
I could have had video.
There's video. There's video.
Okay.
I have it on my screen right now of
Okay.
my little
All right.
iPhone.
You know,
Anyway, I have
if-
another animal
if you,
story to
excuse
tell
me,
you.
if you watch Alien, you can see a lizard tap dance down somebody's body, and it doesn't mean it happened. But there's video.
These guys aren't that smart.
Well, I would say anybody who just believes some
Okay.
rando video
I'm changing the subject.
YouTube. Okay.
So we know that you would not pat a raccoon on its back
Never.
to help it from
Nope.
choking.
Nope.
But what would you do with like a dead animal in your yard
What would I do with a dead animal in my yard?
besides call the spousal unit? Yeah, if there was like a dead animal and you were afraid your dog was gonna like
I've
go
had to
after
deal
this-
with the dead animal. You get a shovel and a contractor bag because contractor bags solve everything. If you can't have a contractor, have a contractor bag. That's my
I should
motto.
have thought of that because I do live with a contractor.
If you don't have a
It's in my front
contractor,
yard
right.
with a flower pot over it.
what
We
kind of?
we just put a really heavy flower pot over the dead mouse.
Why were you afraid it was going to get up, move around?
I hate dead things.
Right, that's what the
I
shovel
don't know.
is
I didn't
for.
want to see it.
It's a dead mouse. You don't have to clutch it to your bosom or shampoo it and wrap it in a shroud. You know the expression, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole?
Yes.
This is why you have the 10-foot pole with a shovel on the end of it.
Or a butterfly net. Ooh, a butterfly net. That probably would have worked.
Shovel, long shovel. The same kind of, or you could use that pitchfork that you pitch
Like a-
hay with.
Make sure it's dead with its guts hanging out.
Mm,
I don't
that's-
want one of my cats to eat it either.
I take it one of your cats is responsible for it.
Well, possibly. I'm not gonna let either one of them lick me for a couple of days. There you go.
Thanks for listening to the Tory Writers She Said What podcast. Since you've made it to the end, you might want to know that my book, She Said What? A Life on the Air, is not only available in print, but now also in complete audiobook form, narrated by me and available on Audible.